Okay, joining us this evening from Patna, I'm joined by Ravi Shankar Prasad, General Secretary and Chief Spokesperson of the BJP, Manish Tiwari, Member of Parliament, National Spokesperson of the Congress from Delhi, Vinod Mehta, Editor-in-Chief of The Outlook from Delhi, and Sachidanand Murthy, Resident Editor of The Week from Delhi. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for joining me. I'd first like Vinod Mehta to analyze what she has said. Mr. Mehta, why do you think Jayalalitha has said not once but twice, 3 times in the course of that interview, that realignments can happen anytime, they can happen sooner than people think, that it can happen before 2014? She did not elaborate why she felt so, but she was quite clear about talking about a realignment soon at the national level.
Arnab, are you asking me?
Yes, Mr. Mehta, that's to you.
Arnab, what first thing to be said is that your interview shows a chief minister supremely in command and supremely confident. She has got all the 52 cards in Tamil Nadu. The DMK has not a single card. So she can exercise every option. And why should she disclose any of her cards at this point of time? It's so early. 2014 is a long time away. She wants to see how the UPA fares. She wants to see what will be the relationship with the UPA, Congress and the DMK. It is more than likely that that relationship may split on its own without any help from Jayalalitha. She may decide to go with the BJP. She may decide to go with the Congress. She may decide to actually go with nobody and fight the elections on her own. She has every option. I don't think I have known a chief minister of any state to be in a better position, a more confident position than she is in. So the way she answered your question, it was quite clear that she wasn't going to tell you now. What's the use now of trying to align with the Congress? You have to wait till the next general election, and then she has all the options open. I mean, she's got an embarrassment of riches, if you like.
Manish Tiwari, given Jayalalitha's political importance and given the fact that any national government has had to deal with parties in power in Tamil Nadu, have you been particularly harsh in your reactions today to what Jayalalitha said? You appeared to be miffed with her saying that there is no standing offer to the Congress party. Did you expect a standing offer? And why did you react so strongly to Jayalalitha this evening after her interview?
Well, I think, Mr. Goswami, the audio is a little weak, but if I've understood your question properly, I think the reaction was very mild, to say the least. The Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu is obviously in a celebratory mood. You know, she is expansive, and yes, you know, unsolicited offers, unilateral withdrawals. Now, what is it that I can really say about that? You know, she's made an offer, then said that it is not a standing offer, it is possibly a sitting offer, or it is something else. You know, we have clarified this ad nauseum that yes, we have an alliance with the DMK in Tamil Nadu. Yes, we did not do well in the elections. We respect the verdict of the people, and we would try and see as to how best, you know, we can learn from the setback and make ourselves more robust and vital on the ground, because ultimately political alliances are not changed like clothes every day. You know, there is a certain dynamic to it, there is a certain reality to it, and I think on that both I and even Mr. Ghulam Nabi Azad, when you had spoken to him earlier when the results came out, who looks after Tamil Nadu for the Congress, had made the position of the party very clear.
Okay, Ravi Shankar Prasad, she did not say I could tie up with the BJP. However, she did not rule out the possibility. You've had a meeting with Jayalalitha recently. Mr. Modi had a meeting with Jayalalitha. He came for a swearing in. Then we had Sushma Swaraj meeting Jayalalitha, I think, over the weekend. Your response to Jayalalitha seems to be far more warm than the one we are seeing from the Congress party. Is it because you want to do business with her rather than have her lead a third front?
Well, Arnav, first of all, I need to congratulate you that you are the first to interview her after her astounding victory. Now, Madam Jayalalitha, as far as I know her, and I am grateful for the kind words she has used about me in your interview, is very clear She speaks with clarity and without any ambiguity. And the sense which I make out of her interview today, her interaction with you, is basically twofold. The political situation in the country is evolving, and she has to be flexible. Second, she gave a clear indication of the sense of unease about the central government. Thirdly, she was very clear, in spite of your persistent query, that the standing offer to the Congress was not a standing offer, it was a one-time offer. Now, as she stated, and she
Yes.
is an important leader of the country today, with outstanding victory, she should be allowed to take a position in the manner she would like to take, depending upon the evolving situation when the UPA is perceived to be weak. Yes, one thing I should like to make it very clear, I know her view from before, which I share with her completely. She wants to see India as an eminent superpower of the world. She's very clear about it. The enormous potential of India is having the potential to propel India to that league, and she strongly believes in that. And I, for one, completely share that view of hers. This is how we see it. But how the politics would evolve, I don't know. But if I can use Arnav Babu, a very simple Hindi expression, politics में कुछ भी हो सकता है.
Kuch bhi ho sakta hai, you say, Ravi Shankar Prasad. Manish Tiwari, before I come to you, Sachi, she said this country needs a strong and authoritative government that can make the people feel secure. She spoke on strategic issues. She spoke about China. She spoke about the foreign ministry's ambivalent response to the damming of the Brahmaputra. She spoke about Pakistan. Clearly, you are seeing there, she has very strong views on strategic and foreign policy issues. And she's been openly critical, Manish Tiwari, of your government's position on these issues. Is that one of the reasons why you appear not too keen to do business with her or even consider that possibility?
Is that directed to me, Mr. Goswami?
Yes, Mr. Tiwari, that's to you.
Yeah, because the audio is a little weak, that's why I'm clarifying. Mr. Goswami, to be very fair to her and to be very fair to you, I have not really seen the interview. I do not know as to what her views on strategic affairs or international affairs are. But I presume that somebody who's been the chief minister of a state earlier and now heads the state in Tamil Nadu obviously would have a particular view. Now, whether those views are really in sync with what our perception or our disposition of the world is, I do not know because I have not seen it. But having said that, allow me to put it on record that over the past 7 years, the UPA government has performed commendably well in terms of managing our external relationships. And I think, the US Civil Nuclear Agreement, the fact that we not only have a non-permanent seat on the Security Council, but got it with 2/3 of the votes in the United Nations General Assembly, the manner in which we have managed our relationship in East Asia and even our relationship with China is something which I think the UPA government can be legitimately proud of. On Pakistan, my views are well known. Yes, there is a need for an engagement because you cannot change the logic of geography, but obviously you expect Pakistan to step up and do more. And if there is some kind of a synchronization insofar as that aspect is concerned with what Ms. Jayalalitha may have said, then I can only say that possibly insofar as Pakistan is concerned, maybe she is on track with the rest of the country.
No, she repeatedly says, I want the country to be a superpower. I want to go to you, Sachi, as an expert observer of both southern and national politics. Why is she talking about the possibility of a political realignment? Let me also say, Sachi, when I interpreted her earlier answer, I asked her, you seem to indicate a midterm election could happen before 2014. She says in answer to the specific question, anything can happen anytime. We have to be prepared, even prior to 2014. But she went on to say, I don't want to elaborate. Now, is she just... as they say, is she just sort of throwing a possibility? Does she want to just, jumble up national politics, get the reactions in, or is there a deep thought behind what she said?
I think there's a deep thought behind her thinking, because in the last 1 year the UPA government is going through such a crisis of credibility. Its shine has been taken off, and she thinks something will yield sooner than later. So she has her own calculations, and even though she has been in politics as a leader for nearly quarter century, she has not had a major say in the central governments for long periods. With the Narasimha Rao government, she supported it for 2 years, then withdrew support. Vajpayee government, it was just a 13-month association.